Hello dear friends, I am in Göygöl. That's a beautiful, picturesque, small provincial town that was established as Helenendorf by German settlers who were invited by Russian monarchs who also shared some German ancestry, and we'll visit the places related to their rich heritage. And they established several colonies. By the way, this word has nothing to do with colonialism. And they were invited by monarchs, and they actually played a very significant role in development of some industries. Especially they were successful in winery, and in the past, before sovietization, probably the best alcohol drinks, the highest quality alcohol drinks were produced here in Azerbaijan by German settlers and in their establishments. Now we are going to enter Johannes Church, Johanneskirche. Here was constructed in between 1854 and 1857. That's the entrance. Now we are going to enter the church that today is used as a museum. Now we are going to enter the museum church or church museum. You can see some interesting exhibits here. Staircases are also interesting. In Soviet times, it was used as a sports hall. Then eventually has been turned into a museum. You can see here this finds, this exhibits that were found partially in the earlier stages by German archaeologists. Then our archaeologists of Azerbaijan and also play a significant role in enriching this museum. You can see also some info roll-ups that were provided by German cultural organizations, and this museum has some cooperation with them. This museum was constructed, the construction actually started in 1854 and ended 1857. Now we are going to see behind the church the date of the start of construction. We are right now in the yard of school. Now we can see this date, and there's a cross under it. Yeah, you can see it from that point. Good. Now we are turning back and we are going to all the interesting sites related to German heritage in Göygöl. All the sites of interests are provided with this kind of info stands, info tables, all of them. And in front of the church, we can also see the city map. And according to the city map, we can see where we are and where we can go. Now we are going through Gemeindeplatz or Community Square in order to see the house of Hummel Gottlieb and Philip Potter and Sons house. They were very well known for their horse carts, and the quality of them were very well known, not only in Caucasus but outside Caucasus too. And all the houses here were constructed in typical Swabish style or Schwäbisch style. And originally they were all primarily they were from Baden-Württemberg. Now we are going to see this beautiful house belonging to Hummel Gottlieb, you see. And it was also used as military lazaret or military hospital. And now we are going to see these famous horse cart producer who also started to use one of the first pioneers in electrification in the region. And they were doing very well, actually. They were really doing well before the confiscation of all their properties. So we can see also the info tables, see? In two languages, Azerbaijani and German. Now we go on to visit the house of the last German. Along with their confiscation, many Germans were deported here, and they suffered a lot. And their situation became extremely harsh when the Second World War started, and the last Germans were deported from here, and only 10 families were permitted to stay here because they were not pure Germans, like Victor Klein, whose father had Polish roots. That was the main reason why he was permitted to come here, to stay here, and he lived here until his death. And now we are going to enter to his house. This is how it looks like. That is old door ring that is today until use, can be used. That's the andas. Yeah, so fine. Now I'm entering the house. That is his workroom where he worked. He was an engineer, radio engineer. Now we are going to visit his praying room. You can see also some crosses here. And that is his kitchen. Very interesting kitchen. Every time I visit here with my German guests, they always remember how their grandmas used or still uses this kind of ovens. Now we are going to enter his living room. And here we can see how beautiful it looks, authentic actually it looks. Behind us you can see the portraits of his father, grandpa and mom. And that is his piano. And this museum, thanks to the relentless efforts of his friends and Ministry of Culture, was turned into a museum of Victor Klein. Now we are going to enter the cellar, and they were used for keeping wine and other products, other groceries. And in hot summers they provided with very, very good and suitable leisure rooms. Here we can see how authentic it looks. You can see here, yeah, some wine cellars are actually 10 times bigger than the house itself, houses themselves. And one of the main qualities of this wine cellars was that they were all were linked through underground pipes in order to transfer the wine produced here to wineries. So they didn't need to take out wine and transport it with carts, just through underground. pipes, they were transported to wineries, and of course, eventually they were marketed and they were sold. So yeah, it is really cool. Temperature is always stable here. Now we are going to leave the cellar. So dear friends, right now we are in the cemetery of Germans. That is divided into two parts. The first part on the right side is shared for the war captives who died during the Second World War. But in the left side we see the older part of the cemetery where Germans of Helenendorf were buried. For example, if you see a gravestone in the shape of trunk or smaller trunk, that means that the person was young and never married. And now we are going to see the gravestone of Victor Klein, the last German in Göygöl, in Hanlar or Helenendorf. So we see a gravestone with anchor. It means that person was born in Europe, out of Azerbaijan, and that is his grave, Victor Klein, the last German in Azerbaijan, in Helenendorf, who originated from the German settlers. And of course there are many Germans in Azerbaijan, but they are not from the settlers, they are not originated from the settlers. So, right, dear friends, we are approaching to the end of our tour. So in the States, it's absolutely possible to see German tourists in the streets. So one of them, thanks to him, I'll have opportunity to have an interview. So we are approaching to him. So, welche Eindrücke haben Sie von diesem Ort?
Sehr interessanter Ort, unglaublich spannende Geschichten über deutsche Aussiedler im Kaukasus. Geschichten, die wir selbst noch nicht kannten als Deutsche, die für uns auch sehr erhellend und eindrucksvoll waren. Wir haben viel gelernt über die Geschichte der deutschen Aussiedler hier im Kaukasus, Details.
Was hat Ihnen am besten gefallen in dieser Siedlung?
Das ist natürlich die deutsche Architektur, die wir so kennen, von der wir nicht wussten, dass es die hier in dieser Form gibt, die wir von zu Hause kennen. Und es ist dieses Victor Klein Haus, was einen sehr, sehr schönen Einblick in das damalige Leben gibt, mit ganz vielen Artefakten, Ausstellungsgegenständen, die sehr, sehr interessant sind.
Danke für Ihre Zeit.